Greetings, this is Robert Forsch with the Truth About Everything. This is Photoshop because it has to be. I'd like to be able to have the Cybertruck if that were possible. I've ordered it. I sent a shirt like this to Elon Musk. I would like it to be the new Truthmobile if possible. So what I've got is the Truth About Everything, and I started out with the silent weapons for quiet wars. One of the reasons for that is it's a hashtag that has powerful information with it. There's the Cybertruck. I ordered it. I hope to take delivery if I'm able to. I would like to have a Tesla if I could. The Truthmobile has got about 250,000 miles on it, and it has some issues, some electrical problems sometimes. So thanks so much for tuning in. I'm going to take us for a little ride and unpack some things for us to look at. I'm at the coast of South Carolina right here at Sea Mountain Highway is where this is. So I'm going to take us on down and explore some of the reasons why I do what I do and how this works out. Right now, this is actually a Facebook live stream that's going to be downloaded and uploaded to YouTube. So let's get this fixed here. Alrighty, so I used to do a lot of Facebook live streams, and then I would do some YouTube live streams, and this is a bit of a sound check as well. Just because I have something in my playlist doesn't mean that I put my stamp of approval of everything that is being said by the individual or what they stand for. There's a tremendous amount of deception in the world right now, and the mainstream propaganda that is controlled by the major corporations are deceiving humanity. And there's a lot of fear that's being put out there, false evidence appearing real. Many people are believing the lie and rejecting the truth and the truth tellers. So I meet a lot of fascinating people, and the common thread through this is that knowing and telling the truth, or seeking the truth and wanting to explore and talk about it and share it, is very divisive. By nature, the truth is divisive. So I'm going to take us for a little bit of a ride here and explain a little bit further what I am wanting to help people to consider. One of the main things to consider is the truth. And so is what you believe or what I believe actually true, or is it my own wishful thinking or yours? So I prefer truth that actually has proof. What is proof? Well, it's information that actually proves or validates the belief or the perspective. Right now, there is a toxification of humanity that's taking on epic proportions. So any toxin that goes in the body or on the body can distort the perception of reality. Sometimes those toxins can be actual neurological toxins, or they can be informational toxins that affect the function of the brain. So when people are acting on something they believe to be true, unaware that they've been bamboozled. With pride as a powerful catalyst, the deceived individual will kick into confirmation bias to prove why the truth teller is a whack job, a nutter, a crazy person, a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. In reality, there are actual conspiracies that are in play, and one of the ways to break that down is through my Facebook profile. And you can give me a call at any time. I make my phone number publicly available so that you can call me if you like. You can text me any pertinent information that you believe I should know or consider. And then the other thing is that the Facebook is a landing pad for all the different platforms that I can share. And there are many. One of the reasons to put the hashtag in my name in a Google search is because then there should be thousands of results, or maybe none. My name, it has been my name my whole life. I'm Robert Joseph Forsch, if you want to type in the whole thing, but if you hashtag Robert Forsch, that's where you'll find me. Did you know that we could actually power the world with water? Not just hydroelectric as in water moving equipment and turbines. It's more than that. There's water that can have electricity applied to it, and then it shatters the bond between oxygen and hydrogen, and then when it's recombined in a hydrogen fuel cell, it creates electricity. I've got a friend that right now powers his house on a couple of liters of water per month using that process. The byproduct is water vapor. Same thing with, in a similar application would be Stanley Meyer in the water car. What he created, I've got the content on my channel, and you can see it in the playlist. And the playlist covers the truth about everything. There's a lot of mystery with history, including virtually free energy devices. So in powering the world with water, it's beyond just driving a vehicle with water, leaving a trail of water vapor. It's more than that. A house can be powered off grid, completely disconnected from the power grid, and you can make your own electricity out of water anywhere in the world. If you use steel reinforced insulated concrete panel construction, it can withstand wildfires, earthquakes, flooding, all of that. And then it takes a fraction of the energy to climate control that living environment. If you dig down deep enough, you'll access some pretty warm temperatures. So even in an area that has a temperate climate like this is Mediterranean type climate, we still have wildfires and hurricanes and that type of thing. So what I share this with you for is because I want you to know that we have technology that could be employed, and ultimately it will be. Now, before the World Economic Forum stopped all commenting, I would go over there with my Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars research library. It's the link that's in the description, and my name and my phone number. I'm basically telling them I'm not afraid. I do that in my videos too. I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. If you're not prepared to die for what you believe the truth is, I would say you probably haven't found it yet. The me that I am can't be killed by a bullet, a knife, anything like that. I'm an eternal being having a temporary human experience, and I'm not afraid. And so that's an important reality that I bring to the discussion. A lot of my friends and family all over the world are not afraid either. Okay, so that's what we bring to this discussion. There are people that are on my channel that have died for telling the truth. Some died of old age, some died because they were exposing the corrupt system of the world that actually is involved in human trafficking, human sacrifice, torture, the manipulation of humanity through the financial system, creating money out of thin air with the world's central banking system, the medical industrial complex that has a history of toxifying humanity and creating a lifetime dependence on their poisons. I'm exposing all that. Do you see why I would have a relevant concern? It's justifiable concern. I'm not afraid to die. I'm not concerned with how I'm going to die. I'm mostly and primarily concerned with how I'm going to live. So in the research library, I've got proof of what I talk about and what I believe. Right now we have volcanoes around the world that are apparently letting off pressure. There's a lot of temperature in the earth that creates and melts rock, and then there's the explosions of steam pressure and volatile gases that are being released. Some areas of the world actually create a substantial amount of electricity with geothermal. I'm exposing the reality of geothermal as a viable means of creating electricity and climate control. All of these different realities can be combined together in a way that we can live better. So I'm making that information known for free. I'm not asking for any money from people. Now, if you wanted to reach out and help me in my efforts, that'd be great. I'll just keep on driving this Truthmobile as long as I can. One of the reasons why I ordered the Tesla Cybertruck is because I believed it would be a very effective way of getting a lot of attention and talking especially about the deception that's going on, including the space fantasy that SpaceX and Blue Origin and NASA are promoting. There's so much going on with the integration of artificial intelligence into humanity. Artificial intelligence is the single biggest existential threat on humanity as we know it. It's assimilating and incorporating transhumanist technology to change human beings into something other than exactly human by modifying the DNA and incorporating different kinds of fungus and parasites that are biodirectionally communicating with the quantum computing system, the cloud of the Internet of Things. We've got computer hardware, software, and wetware. We would be the wetware from the AI perspective. That's just the reality of what's going on. And so in this effort to know and tell the truth, there's a lot of people that may give lip service to loving the truth. Why would you want to knowingly believe a lie? Well, people have a lot in the game. If they've got a lifestyle that's inconsistent or diametrically opposed to the biblical narrative of life, then they're going to scurry to try and disprove the Bible or Bible believers, to discredit them. We've had a lot of snake oil salesmen and charlatans that have walked this earth well before I did. And so there's a veritable spiritual smorgasbord that humanity is dining on right now. And what I'm wanting to do is expose that as well. So if you want to know what I believe spiritually, I believe the Bible is God's word. It's true. And all other words are suspect and should be compared with Scripture. So now I've got my Truthmobile is able to park in the garage here, which gives me an added measure of security. Of course, with my name being known and me being a public figure, all of my data can be found if somebody wants to look that up. That's just the way it is. That's just the nature of our reality. So now that I'm home, I'm not sure if my system is going to try and jump over to the wireless internet. It may do that, but it looks like I've still got a broad. So here we are. This is where I call it's my home away from home. I've got the truth cycle and the surfboard and lots of stuff to MacGyver if I need to. This is this right here I took to the Denver Flat Earth Conference. It's a legitimate, functioning wind chime hanging vertical. How's she hanging? Vertical. That's the way it does that. So I talked to Rich at the London Guardian, and I said, where in the world could a wind chime hang anywhere upside down in relationship to other wind chimes? It's just the nature of reality. That's the way it works. Water seeks its level, whatever container it's in. That's what it does. That's how it works. So there are some things that we can know for sure, and some things that we have to believe because knowing isn't quite possible. So one of the things that I want to show you too, the biblical cosmology is the sun, moon, and stars move above the stationary and level earth. I've done this many a time, so I'm just going to show you again how it works. In the summer, the sun comes up over there. Today it came up way over here from this vantage point. I've got evidence of it. Okay, today the sun came up here and it's going to set over there. Okay, in the summer it comes up over there and then it sets over there. Right now the moon is high in the sky, right in the middle of the view, clearly indicating that the sun, moon, and stars move above a stationary and level earth. There would never, ever be level anywhere on a spinning, wobbling water ball hurling through space. I never get tired of saying it. It's just the reality. With this kaleidoscope of conspiracy theories, sometimes it's hard to know what the truth about them is. However, when we can know something for sure that exposes that they're lying about the cosmogenic, godless cosmic Big Bang that's being promoted by the theoretical physicists and scientists that meander off into theories and formulas that do not reflect reality, I'm telling on them. They're promoting a godless cosmic Big Bang, and I'm exposing that. And I'll just keep on doing it as long as I can. So yesterday when I was out here, there had to be probably over 1,000 blackbirds that came on through. They were all excited and they were in the trees. It was wonderful. So I enjoyed that. I've got squirrels that run through the trees in the backyard and all that. It's nice to enjoy. So a lot of fresh air, sunshine, lower humidity today. It's quite a bit drier air and cooler. It's in the 40s with the humidity in about the 60 percentile. The moon puts off its own cooler light spectrum and cools down the environment and draws moisture out of the air with like the moisture on a garbage can, like the moisture that's there. It does that because it creates a temperature differential. That same kind of temperature differential operates in the climate control systems of our households as well, and our cars. That's all part of the reality of how this works out. That moisture that drips out from underneath the cars could actually be added to the electrolyzing that runs the electrical system in the vehicle. So Stanley Meyer is on my channel. You can see how he created the water car. There's hydrogen fuel cells that rely on a very sophisticated delivery mechanism of pressurized hydrogen when it can actually be created at a household like this one here. And so I could provide all my electrical needs with that, including running my car if I had an electric vehicle to do that with. So that's why I'm telling you this. If the billionaires were really so benevolent and they wanted to make this world a better place, it'd be nice if they didn't have plans to kill so many of us off. I'm telling on them. That's why I'm doing this, because I care. I want to reach out and help people make an informed choice on their forever. So the intellectual high ground is the truth. Is what you believe actually true? Is it the truth about everything? You can give me a call if you like. You can send me information to this phone number, or you can send it through email, robertforsch@gmail.com. Thank you so much for your public and private encouragement. This is Robert Forsch with the truth about everything.